This war canoe is a sprint derivative of the classic First Nations boats that you might see out in the West Coast. They're longer than the traditional birch bark canoes from the First Nations communities. Very similar to the Voyageur canoe you saw in the opening ceremonies, but this is our baby. This is Canada's boat right here, the C-15. We love it. It's something we hold dear to ourselves. In fact, if you go to the Carleton Place Canoe Club, which started in 1890, you'll see some pictures from back then in the 1900s, over 100 years old. That was their big boat of choice back then.
Yeah, war canoes have a long and proud history in Canada. In the booth with Jeff and I've got John Edwards. He's the domestic coordinator at CKC, and I figured I would bring him in to talk about how war canoe impacts clubs, and he's also the director of
the ICF Canoeing for All program.
Excellent. So John is here just to talk about how war canoe affects clubs and how it's important for the development of clubs in Canada. John Edwards?
Yeah, I mean, the war canoe is actually the foundation boat of our entire system. In fact, going back to the beginning of the Canadian Canoe Association, which was its original name, it was the reason that Canada separated from the American Canoe Association, because the Canadians wanted to race in these big boats and the Americans didn't want to. So ultimately, the clubs in Canada said, well, no, we want to race in these boats. And that's why you still see that boat hasn't changed since 1900.
Okay.
And it's still today. And it is actually, as a big boat in canoeing, it's extremely hydrodynamic, very fast, very flexible.
Do you know how long Bear Mountain has been involved with building war canoes that we've been seeing in Canada?
Oh, Bear Mountain's been the key manufacturer. They're in the Peterborough area. And Peterborough, of course, these are the Peterborough cedar strip type boats.
Right.
Obvious. And for at least 30 years, they've been the manufacturer of these boats in Canada, and they're a wonderful sponsor of CanoeKayak Canada. Well, you know, Tom, they say that the canoe is Canada's great contribution to the world. And really, when you look at these boats, this is the pièce de résistance of the canoe and the cedar strip canoe. And that we still race it today, it is the boat that is actually the foundation in terms of participation in the country. All of our Olympians started in the war canoe. Everybody is equal in this boat. Look at the synchronization that goes on in those crews you see on your monitor right now, and they learn teamwork. There are no stars in this particular boat. This is where everybody has to work together. You see all sizes of people in the boat, and it's really the boat that teaches the values of the association in terms of teamwork. I know CanoeKayak Canada has done tremendously well in terms of individual medals at the Olympic Games and the World Championships, but we're also a team sport, and we quite frequently forget that, and this is the boat that does it.
Oh, definitely.